with the green gang. It's a mean thing. Got the block shot down like Yang. We strapped, purple getting clapped, green like the cash that we keep stacked.
He is a killer, straight up thriller. He green and he mean like a drunk caterpillar. So back down, there's a green town, doing green stuff, repping that green crown.
Shaking what we're taking and breaking them, we the green. Saying no nos on the screen, take the streets, why they scream? Wait, what's that? Is Purple Gang rapping? Nah fam, it's the sound of purple cheeks clapping.
Greetings warriors, my name's Pretty and welcome to this special triple feature for Resplendent Heroes. Yes, I am going to attempt to catch up to all of the Resplendent Heroes that I have missed in one video. So things are going to be a lot quicker and a lot snappier than previous Resplendent videos. Before I dive into everything, please take some time and fill out the survey in the description below in the comments, because I am rebuilding all of the design aesthetics for all of the realms, and your input would be greatly appreciated. So let's start with the first one that I missed, and that is...
This new garb pleases me. It emphasizes the nobility of my countenance.
Our boy INNES in the realm of Asker. Just looking at his design, the one major gripe I have to say about it is it doesn't feel 100% Asker. I've seen multiple people confuse him with being, you know, Niffle. And I think the coloring of his accent color is a major key to that, because it's very like pale green, very leaning towards the blue side of greens. You know, it very much feels like it could fit into Niffle. Besides that, in fitting in with the Asker, you know, aesthetic, I think he fits mostly well. I kind of wish that his sleeves had more tiny slits instead of the giant big slit. I think that would be very leaning towards Asker design. Another thing that I think would really help solidify his design to be Asker is, instead of just being a flat plate on his chest, being the scaled armor that you see on pretty much every single Asker and every single Fire Emblem Heroes character. Another thing that I think would help is just shortening his tunic. I know that's part of his original design, however, Asker designs tend to favor shorter tunics. I think that would lend really well to solidifying his design. Overall, he fits for the most part. He's not the best Asker Resplendent, he's not the worst Asker Resplendent. I think I'm gonna give him a middle of the road 5, because it's existing. Alright, to keep this, you know, thematic section nice and short, I'm not going to be reading his personality off of, you know, the Fire Emblem Wiki. If you know, you know. If you don't know, take some time and read that. Because I got 2 other ones to do. I gotta pick up the pace. For Asker, it's generally themed around a sense of duty and a sense of righteousness, you know, a very grandiose thing in terms of, you know, character motivation. Will he fit? Let's find out. So, from the quick, you know, understanding I have of INNES' personality and what he does in the game, I feel like Asker does fit to a point. However, I feel like Nidavellir might have been a bit better in terms of scale. He seems a lot more focused on Tana instead of the grandiose desires of like protecting the country and saving the world. He seems a lot focused on making sure Tana is safe and protected. So that fits more in the route of Nidavellir, because the sense of duty is a lot more personal. So akin to his outfit, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Now, my personal opinions on him, I like this. I know I didn't rate him very highly in the other 2 categories, but again, those are just analytical. This is my my personal thoughts. I think his art is stunning. I do wish that his green wasn't that green. I wish they would desaturate it a bit more to match his original green if they really wanted to keep the green, but it just doesn't. It makes my brain hurt looking at the bright yellowy green of his hair and his eyes to the bluey green of the rest of his outfit, and it bothers me. I know it's a small nitpick, but it bothers me. Overall, the art is just stunning. The posing, the colors, everything about it is so nice. I love that he has individual poses for all of his stuff. Like, chef's kiss. I don't like have any desire to build Innes as a unit, but man, I just want to stare at this art all day long. It is so pretty. It's just so well done, and yeah, I don't know what else is there to say besides, gosh, it's pretty, gosh, I love it, and oh, that's special art, the glow, everything about it is so pretty. So as for where I would put him on my tier maker list, I definitely believe it is better than base. I feel like I'm going to slot him right next to Odin. No, actually, I'm gonna put him underneath Sonya because Sonya's art is just too freaking good. So he's gonna sit nice and comfortably in better than base. Let's move on to the next one I missed, and that one is...
I feel a kinship between the wind and the flame.
Resplendent! Well, we finally got to finish off all of the first year Choose Your Legends heroes. That's nice. God, they really picked up the pace on those, didn't they? We had Ike 1 year, and then all of the rest of them this year. We have her, though, in the realm of Moosebell. So, her design, yes, it fits. So she doesn't have the cape, which is a very iconic thing for Moosebell designs. However, she does have the flame patterns within her skirt. I think that kind of balances out it enough, and plus she has that like big puffy fiery black feather shawl thing. So I think that also counts as well. There are a lot of things that are bothering me about this design, and I will get to them in my own personal opinions, but the things that bother me about it being a Moosebell design is the blue seems very out of place. I feel like they should have just kept it with the purple that she has showing on her breastplate. I think that would be a very nice tie-in. I really hate her scale armor on her torso. It just feels like it's a band instead of actually being armor. I feel like it should have been brought down lower to her stomach, or even brought up higher around those balloons that she calls her chest. There are just a lot of nitpicky things I can say about it, her design fitting into Moosebell, and I think the biggest thing is it just doesn't have the same edge that Moosebell design characters do. She does have this asymmetrical design, which I do appreciate. You know, with the feather boa thing and the chest plate. However, I wish that they would have done a little bit more with that in terms of like her boots. Her boots are just so boring. And Moosebell design boots are like pretty intense and very cool looking. And these just feel kind of basic. That could be on any realm, you know. I really do love all of the coloring of the fire in this. But she has the same problem that I have with is it Levitain or Layarn? I think it's Layarn, because Levitain's the little one. Layarn, the green hair with fire designs, and it's not just like it's a bright green or anything like a deep green. It's like this middle of the road green that I just grinds my gears. So overall, she's fitting very well into the Moosebell design. I have some nitpicks, so I'm going to give her a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have her, you know, thematically fitting in to Moosebell. Moosebell's theming is revenge or receiving great power until, you know, I get more of your responses. If you're still watching this far, please go and fill out that survey. It would mean a lot to me and make these so much better and so much easier for me to make, instead of being like, tentatively this is what it is, because I'm working on it behind the scenes, and you know, I would really appreciate the help. Anyways, so will she fit into receiving great power or revenge? Give me a quick second to read over her story and I'll let you know. So, from my understanding of LYN, as somebody who hasn't played her game and just absorbs information from around me, I think Moosebell is actually an apt fit for her, because her original motivation for setting out and, you know, being a Fire Emblem protagonist is her hatred of bandits and pirates, and thus can be correlated to the feelings of revenge and, you know, all of that jazz. I think eventually, like, it feels like she very much can transition away from this through her story. From what I'm understanding of it, it just seems like the core instigation factor, and I think it fits well enough. Though, isn't Brave LYN more of like her final stage, you know, she does everything at the end of the game. Am I getting too nitpicky with this? I am. Step it, pretty. So I'm gonna say she fits. I'm gonna give her a 7 out of 10 because I am getting confused on whether if this is her at the end of her story or in the middle of her story, because if it was in the middle of the story, it would make sense. If it was the end of the story, then I'd get a little, but yes, okay, it's 7 out of 10. And now we get to my opinions. I have so many opinions on this. I dislike it greatly. I just am very fond of her original design and the original color palette with her. I think it suits her so much better than these deep, flamey colors of, you know, Moose Bell. And the art, okay. This is the same artist that did Azura, right? Resplendent Azura. And I really do enjoy their art style, but the way they drew LYN's chest in this, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I feel so uncomfortable looking at it, and I know that's just a personal preference thing, but man, oh man, I really feel uncomfortable looking at it. They don't feel right, you know? Anyways, besides that, the rest of the posing of the art itself is very nice. Her standing pose is okay, nothing really special. Same with her attack and her special art. I do want to say, I remember this discourse when this Resplendent was announced. Her bowstring is not behind her head. It's a common like strategy for like drawing art and whatnot that when you have okay, it's like an anime thing. Like, come on, think about all of the anime you have seen where somebody's standing at like a school gate with the chain, like, and it's uncovering their face. It's like not behind their face. They choose to hide that part so that they can show off the face more. That's exactly what they're doing. Her bow is not behind her head. I understand the purposes of it. It still does look awful. I will admit that. I think it would just been much better if she posed it differently and continued the line, because I can understand why people don't like that. I really gotta say though, her damage dart is probably one of my favorite damage darts in the game. I just love the posing of it and the crouching that she does. It just feels really dynamic, and the movement of everything. Like her hair looks so freaking pretty. So, you know, personal opinions, she's okay. I'm not really going to be using this Resplendent. I'm sorry. As for where she's going to be in my tier list, I think she's gonna be at the top of same as base. Cause like, it's not bad, it's not good, it's not really something that I want to use, it's not something that I actively hate like some other Resplendents. So, you know, I actually think I like Noe's and George's more. Same with Ike. Yeah, she's actually gonna go behind Ike. Yeah. And now we have our latest Resplendent, who was announced, you know, very recently, and that is...
This brings me right back to when I used to read my little sister's bedtime stories with fairies in them.
PALLA! So I think it's going to be a trend that all of the sisters, the trio, is going to be fairies. So I'm very excited to see Katya. I want a fairy team. Fairies for life! Okay, shush. So she, as I mentioned earlier, is a light fairy. She hits pretty much all of the marks that makes a light fairy design a light fairy design. She does have a little bit more of a deeper green, but I think that's okay because it matches her hair and it ties it all together with a lot of more pastels. So she gets a good check mark on there. She's got the big fairy wings, which are her cloak instead, which I greatly... If you don't know me, I really like that. And it fits very well. She does have a lot of floral designs, a lot of the patterns of fairies, and her skirt is very reminiscent of a flower. Lots of very good points in there, like her boots, you know, have the petals of a leaf. She hits a lot of the marks. The only thing that I could say is a slight negative, as I mentioned earlier, is the darker green. But again, I personally think that's okay design-wise, and I think, you know, light fairies can accept that. So I'm going to give her a 9 out of 10. Just the part points marked down because, you know, darker colors, and yeah, that's just being nitpicky, and I understand that. I just need to voice my opinions. So now, thematically, does she fit in the realm of light fairies? That theming right now is innocence and hope. Very, you know, childlike wonder, very idealistic, very pure. Will PALLA fit? Just give me a second to read this very short personality and I'll get back to you. So, from my understanding of PALLA, she kind of fits. You know? Like, I don't think she fits as well as S does, because S is the younger sister, you know, very innocent, very childlike, whereas PALLA is the eldest sister. She seems a lot more down to earth, a lot more kind of grounded, and that's hard to kind of associate with the fairies because they are very much like, I hate to say not really grounded, but like they hold some lofty ideals and lofty personality types. Very bubbly, very hope and idealistic. And PALLA just kind of seems like, I am here to parent my siblings because my parents don't exist. I think, I don't know. And, she, you know, kind of just very down to earth. Will admit she does have a part of her personality that I feel like is very innocent in terms of like love and all of that, so she can fit. Honestly, I probably would have preferred PALLA to be a Niffle Resplendent because she's very focused on family and very much focused on caring for her family, and that's a very Niffle type of theming to be about. So she fits, yes, but not perfectly. So while as much as you'll hear me talk about it in my personal opinions, I love this, I think Niffle would have probably been a better fit, so I'm going to give her a 7 out of 10. And now my personal opinions. Would you be surprised it's another fairy that I love? The fairy aesthetic is very much like my aesthetic, my like stuff that I love, because I love pastels, I love butterflies, I love flowers, I love pastels, I love all of it. It's very much me. There is a gripe that I do have with all of this. I really don't like her attacking pose. I feel like it's just so basic. It lacks a lot of the movement that, say, some of the other ones that, even in this video that we have seen, having the movement in the pose. I feel like what would have helped it better is changing her arm positioning to having more of an actual active swing instead of just pokey pokes, and making the wings behind her flowing with the movement. I feel like everything else about the pose is great. Just those two changes, I think, would have taken this to another like level instead of just being, oh, it's a kind of standard attacking pose. The special art though. Oh, the butterflies are so pretty. I really also do enjoy the smoke coming from the posing at the bottom, because it feels very much like she's stepping into the attack and creating the smoke and just diving in. I think the pose works so much better with the special art, and that's because the special art really adds that movement it was needing. Her damn shirt is, you know, it's damn shirt, whatever. But oh, I really like this. I really like this, guys. I have no intent to build Est because I'm not the biggest fan of Ests, because, you know, her fairy wings are way too small in my opinion. But I really am tempted to build this PALLA. Like, I'm very tempted to, even though I have no need to build any of the Catrias, like the sisters that are not, you know, the 5-star ones that we've been getting from Valentia, because I want all of those. For these guys, I'm just like, I have no desire to build you. But now that they're all being fairies, I kind of want to build them. I'm weak to fairy, guys. I'm weak. So as for where I would put her, she's definitely better than base. Actually, all right. I know I have said many things about Kaboom and their art. I really do love and appreciate the art when they first joined the game. Like, I really enjoy it. It's so rich in color, and like, it looks so good. So it's hard for me to say like it's better than base, like, you know, other characters like Lys or Lonku. So I think, you know what? She's gonna be in the same tier as Estes, slightly better than Base, and I think I'm going to put her right in between Sanaki and Makaya. I feel like that's very middle of the road for her that I think is really good and kind of gets my feelings across. Well, that covers everything. Wow, it's actually, I recorded 3 of them and it's less than a time of like a normal Resplendent. I saved lots of time. Well, what do you think about this triple feature? Which of these 3 Resplendents are your favorite? I hope that I don't have to do a triple feature again, but you never know with life, and you never know what's gonna be thrown your way. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you're still watching by now, please, please, please take that survey. Please, it'll help me so much with making these Resplendent reviews even better than I can make them right now. So, with that all said, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. Keep fighting your battles, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo!